Greetings everyone. Welcome back to Storytime Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the films from 2019, 1BR. Before we start, I hope your day be filled with sunshine and smile. Enjoy the story. At the opening scene of the movie, the lead actress, Sarah, pulls up to an apartment complex with a sign for vacancies after getting out of her slightly rusted blue car. She enters and, with a serene expression on her face, helps an elderly woman avoid falling in the courtyard. She turns the corner onto the second-floor apartment building to look at the unit available, and to her dismay the apartment is full of other people who came before her. As she turns to leave, a man Jerry tells her it's not first come first serve. As she walks around the room she notices that there are two imprints in the wall that have been caulked and painted over. She runs her fingers over those raised bumps in the wall as she hears it's a smoke-free and pet-free apartment building. Sarah is seen with Gus filling out an application and says no, I don't have a pet when asked about the pet clause. Driving away, she pulls into a motel, where she is seen sitting in a dimly lit room on the bed with a laptop in front of her, an orange tabby jumping onto her lap as she carries on with her online browsing. She receives a call, which she looks at reluctantly before answering, and it's her father. Are you really coming out to LA on your own and throwing away your dreams of costume design school and career? To which Sarah retorts, no, adding that she's already employed. We cut to Sarah at a desk job. It's an attorney office and she is some data entry person with a co-worker named Lisa. We see Lisa get into a fight with one of the legal professionals about labeling certain pages. Sarah peers on the dispute and is called out by Lisa after the other woman leaves. The apartment building calls Sarah to let her know she got the job. When we next meet Sarah, she is climbing into the second story with a big crate covered in a blue blanket, when she sees Brian Giles Matthew, the attractive boy she met earlier. Brian greets her as her next-door neighbor and offers to assist with moving her belongings. The scene pans to Sarah entering the apartment as she exclaims, I got it. Sarah bonds with some of the residents, most notably Jerry, the manager, Brian, her neighbor, and Eddie, an elderly lady. During a barbecue party, Lester, a resident, recommends the book The Power of Community by Charles D. Ellerby to Sarah, which she politely declines. Over the next few days, as they settle in, Sarah begins to hear strange noises in the middle of the night and believes they are pipes. However, she soon begins to get notices from the apartment complex prohibiting pets. After ignoring the first letter, another one with the word selfish bitch written on it flashed under her door in a hurry. There is nobody in the immediate corridor when she rapidly unlocks the door. Opposite her in the corridor is the eerie, one-eyed Lester. Sarah accepts Brian's invitation to a dinner party with hesitation. Because of her lack of sleep, she forgets to hand in her portfolio to her enrollment course. She confides in her co-worker and friend Lisa, who comforts her. Later on, though, Sarah and Lisa, her co-worker, are seen arriving with takeout. While conversing on the couch, Lisa encourages Sarah to keep pursuing her dream of becoming a costume designer. Subsequently, that evening, Sarah's smoke detector sounds, and smoke swiftly emerges from the oven. Her kitten ended up baked alive. Later, Brian takes out his torture gadget toolbox and ties her to a wooden IKEA chair. However, Sarah smashes the chair and rushes in the direction of the door. She runs into Esther, one of the other residents, while attempting to flee and begs for assistance. Esther responds, better be, to Brian's assurances that everything is in order. Sarah now understands that everyone else living there is complicit in the captivity. She is subdued and knocked out by Brian and Esther. She awakens to find herself in a locked room dressed in scrubs. She has to learn to collaborate. Brian and Jerry remind her as they enter. They spend days going through this routine. Lester is brought in during the torture to witness what happens to those who resist having their eye torn out and those who attempt to flee having their eye removed. Her hands are forced up against the wall while she stands in what they refer to as a stress position. She is required to remain in that posture as long as the lights are on, and she will be disciplined if she moves. Sarah continues to comply for a few more days before reaching her breaking point. A choice is presented to her: put her hands on the wall or risk having a bullet go through her brain. They bind her hands to the wall with nails. At last, she tears them off and takes a seat in the corner. Sarah is sitting in the corner as the light turns on again, and she carefully gets up to touch the bleeding wall. At that point, Brian and Jerry enter and inform her that she has passed the initial exam to join the community. Sarah gets integrated into the community for the upcoming months. She reads the tenets upon which the community is built and observes how it functions. There's video of her pacing the room back and forth, very absorbed on the book. She soon learns that you can never truly leave Asilo Del Mar once you enter. When Jerry determines she's ready to become an official member of the community, Sarah has her ear branded. Sarah is going to take her place. Sarah is also given a few other tasks to perform in order to contribute to the cult, such as marrying Lester and carrying out surveillance of the members via CCTV footage. Sarah's father came to visit her. They were worried about her condition and wanted to know the news from her. Sarah firmly kicked her out because she was afraid her father would be killed if she went with her father and left the community. Sometime later, the cult reopens its doors to find a new member under a guise of an open house seeking a new resident. Sarah discovers that her friend Lisa has come to the open house. She is shocked when she learns that Jerry has chosen Lisa as the next member, and she warns Jerry that the strong-minded Lisa will be hard to convert. During Lisa's forced initiation process, Sarah reveals herself to Lisa and tells her that joining the cult will change her life for the better. Lisa, however, manages to get Sarah back to sanity, and Sarah realizes she has to escape the cult. When Jerry tries to make Sarah get a lobotomy, Sarah stabs Jerry instead. They attempt an escape together, but Lisa is shot dead by Jerry in the process. After he murders Lisa, Sarah murders Jerry. She leaves the community in an attempt to flee, but everyone stops her at the entrance. She had entered the door halfway. Her arm and shoulder are outside. Lester eventually manages to obtain the rifle. In a moment's eye, Lester shoots the man holding Sarah, allowing her to escape through the door. As the door closes and blood splatters on the frosted pane, we see Lester point the rifle towards his chin. Sarah is no longer trapped. She discovers that CB Company is the real estate owner of the entire street as she runs down it, drenched in blood. She discovers that the same CB firm, who developed the original doctrine, owns the entire street. Sarah detects a dome-shaped camera on the exterior of a different complex and slows down in front of it. An warning for an escape goes out and it flashes bright red. The siren blares in the distance as Sarah turns and bolts down the street.